Good morning, class 9. I am your English teacher. Today we are going to start our next chapter, Quaid's Vision and Pakistan. Please open your English textbook and take out your pencils so you can write the meaning of all the difficult and important words. Let us start reading this chapter. During the early and the difficult times of Pakistan emergence. Please underline the word emergence. The meaning of emergence is coming into existence. Basically, in this chapter, we are going to talk about the Quaid's vision, the thinking of the Quaid about Pakistan. How did Quaid-e-Azam see Pakistan and what was his expectation about the future of the Pakistan? Dear students, it is very important to note that Quaid-e-Azam was one of the greatest leaders of this century. He was the greatest leader of the 20th century. It was only because of the Quaid-e-Azam subcontinent was able to be partitioned. Otherwise, it was impossible to partition subcontinent and to make Pakistan. In this chapter, we are going to talk about the Quaid's vision, the thinking of the Quaid, or the ideas of the Quaid-e-Azam regarding Pakistan. The first line says, during the early and the difficult times of Pakistan's emergence. In the earlier days, Pakistan faced many difficulties and many problems. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah undertook a countrywide tour. At that time, when Pakistan was facing problem, Quaid-e-Azam decided and he did a countrywide tour. Countrywide mean throughout the country, from one corner of the country to the other corner. He aimed at raising people's spirit. Spirit mean to motivate people. And aimed mean it was his goal. He decided to raise the people's spirit, or he decided to motivate the people regarding their country and regarding the work to make their country better. Do not be overwhelmed. The inverted commas in this paragraph, they are telling us that this is the quote or these are the words by the Quaid-e-Azam. Do not be overwhelmed by the enormity of the task. The meaning of the overwhelmed is to be affected emotionally and mentally. And enormity mean the magnitude of something or the amount of the work. So Quaid-e-Azam gave this message to the nation that do not let these problems affect you mentally and emotionally. Do not let them discourage you, disheart you. He said in a speech at Lahore. Again, we are going to discuss the words of Quaid-e-Azam. There are many examples in the history of young nations. Young nations mean the nation that has recently got the independence, building themselves up by the sheer determination and the force of character. Please underline these words. The meaning of sheer determination means nothing but determination, and determination means firmness. When you are not ready to leave your goal, your aim, or whatever you want to achieve. Sheer mean nothing but, and determination mean firmness, when someone is not ready to give up on their cause. And the force of character. By the force of character, we means when someone take the responsibility of his or her action, when they do realize it that their role is very important and the actions that they do, they are very important and they affect their nation and their country. This is what we mean by the force of character. When someone realizes that their good and the bad actions, they have the impact on the country and the nation. You are made of sterling material. Sterling material, the meaning of the sterling here is that you are made of the potentials, or you are made of the material, the excellent material, which that you have the potentials and you have the abilities. And second to none. Second to none means that you are not less than anyone else in the world. Keep up your morale. Morale means courage. Do not be afraid of death. We should face it bravely to save the honor of Pakistan and Islam. So, in the words of Qaid Azam, he said that even if the time comes that you have to choose between the life and the security or the safety of your country, as a good citizen, it is our duty to go for the security of our country first. The priority of us should be our country, even if it means endangering our own life or our own interest. Do your duty and have faith in Pakistan. It has come to stay. Beautiful words. Qaid Azam said that have faith in your country. It has come to stay. No one can undo Pakistan. Now look at the second paragraph. The whole journey of the great leaders' struggle for the homeland for the Muslims of the subcontinent was based on the pivot of the Muslim unity. Pivot means the point on which something is based. Unity mean when the nation is united, when they are together, and when they agree on the same point, and oneness as a nation. He talked about Pakistan in such clear terms. Clear terms mean in very clear words when there is no confusion about the topic, that a common man could understand it. Qaid Azam talked about Pakistan in simple words, in such words that even a person who was not literate, who did not have the education, he was able to understand the idea. He was able to understand that why is Pakistan necessary? How can we make Pakistan progressive? Qaid Azam always used the words and the language that was easily understandable by each and every person who listens to him. Qaid Azam said that we are a nation. He affirmed it 3 years before the birth of the Pakistan, 3 years before the creation of the Pakistan. Pakistan was created in 1947, and 3 years before its creation, Qaid Azam said that we are a nation. Even when the country was not made, Qaid Azam was that much confident about it. The meaning of the affirmed is to confirm something publicly in such a way that no confusion is left. Qaid Azam said, with our own distinctive culture and civilization, language and literature. Literature mean the written history or the written material like the books, the poetry books. Art and architecture. Architecture mean the way Muslims make their buildings. There are numerous examples. Look at the mosque, how are they made? The Muslim architecture is unique all over the world. Names and nomenclature. Nomenclature mean how do we name things around us? How do we name our festivals? How do we name our important eves? The way of naming something is called nomenclature. Sense of values mean ikdar. The good and the bad things. How are we supposed to behave? What are we supposed to do in certain situation? We have our own values. Our elders, they have taught us. Our religion has taught us these values. And proportion, legal laws and moral codes. Moral codes mean ikhlaqi ikdar, means how to behave. Muslims have their own moral codes. Let me give you an example of the moral codes. As a Muslim, it is stated in Quran that we are not to say even a single word before the parents. We are supposed to respect our elders. We are supposed to say salam when we meet someone. These are the examples of the moral codes. Muslims as a nation, they have their separate moral codes which is different than the Hindus. Sense of customs and calendar, history and tradition. Aptitude mean capability, ability to do something, and ambition. In short, we have our own distinctive outlook on the life. Outlook means the way we look at something, our idea about the life. Our idea, they affect our actions. So Qaid Azam said our language, our culture, our literature, our history, our architecture, each and everything is different from the Hindus. Even the most important thing, that is the idea about the life, it is different. So how can you say that it is a single nation? If you remember, this was the same thing that we discussed in the Two Nation Theories chapter. So Qaid-e-Azam, he affirmed it that Muslims, they are a different and a completely separate nation from the Hindus. Now I'm going to tell you about your homework. Open your notebooks, write down the name of this chapter, give the heading Comprehension, paragraph 1. Here is the paragraph 1, and I have told you about the comprehension. Just for the sake of revision, I am telling it again. You will have to write the topic sentence, then the detail, and in the end you will write the conclusion sentence. Write the comprehension of paragraph number 1 very neatly onto your notebook and start sending me the picture of your homework. Thank you, students.